Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video today, I'm going to be talking about some of the things that pleasantly surprised me when I first moved to Germany 8 years ago. And to be quite honest, I didn't have very many expectations about Germany because I didn't know a lot about Germany. We learned a little bit about German history in school, and you know, there's the usual German stereotypes, which most of the time they're not true anyway. And a lot of New Zealanders go to the Oktoberfest, so you hear about that. So basically, before traveling to Germany, I was pretty clueless. I had absolutely no idea what to expect. I was a little bit nervous, but mostly just so excited and just ready to start a new adventure. Okay, so I'm gonna get into it. The thing that surprised me the most when I first came to Germany was the fact that Germany is so beautiful. It actually took my breath away. I was not expecting Germany to be so beautiful. I have no idea why nobody told me that Germany is so beautiful. You always hear about like France and Spain and Italy, but you don't hear a lot about Germany, and I have no idea why, because after traveling, I can say that Germany is right up there with all of these other, you know, romantic destinations. Germany is absolutely stunning. I do feel like I'm pretty lucky to live in an undeniably beautiful part of Germany, Lower Franconia, which is a wine region. But I have traveled quite a bit around Germany, and I feel like every single place I've been to in Germany, whether it's been a big city or, you know, a little town or village, I feel like each place that I visited has its own kind of like unique charm to it, which is distinctively German. I am going to talk mostly about Lower Franconia, the Würzburg region where I'm from. But I remember when I first arrived in Germany feeling like this is so different to anything I've ever experienced. What I absolutely love about the area of Germany that I'm from is that you have this beautiful mix of these amazing historical buildings which are so beautifully maintained, and then you have the cobblestone streets, and then in the background you have the beautiful nature. You have the wine hills which are all on a slope. The vineyards here are all planted on a hill, so you have like the mix of history and nature, and it's just so picturesque. You know, in New Zealand we have absolutely undeniably beautiful nature, but we don't have the history. We don't have these historical buildings. You know, New Zealand is a very young country, and Germany just has like everything for me. Okay, so another thing that really surprised me about Germany, and this is probably going to sound really superficial, but I'm just going to be totally honest here. I was not only pleasantly surprised by how beautiful Germany is as a country, but I was also surprised by the attractive people here in Germany. There are a lot of really good looking people here in Germany, and obviously I'm happily married. I'm not looking for anybody, but you know, you can't help but notice if somebody's good looking. And I'm not saying that everyone in Germany is super attractive, but I feel like a lot of Germans are very good looking. I actually remember when my younger brother came to stay with us in Germany. He was here for like a month, I think. And he was single at the time, and I just remember like we'd be walking down the street and his eyes would just be like wandering everywhere, and he'd say to me, there are some really hot girls in Germany. And I also remember one of my really good friends from New Zealand. She had been traveling around Europe for like 6 months. She'd been to so many different countries. She was actually with another friend, and they came to stay with us for a couple of days. And I remember them saying to me that the German guys were, in their opinion, the best looking guys out of all of the countries that they'd visited, so that was really surprising. Okay, another thing that pleasantly surprised me about Germany, and that is how patient and kind and encouraging the German people have been to me while I have been learning the German language. Even when I first started learning German and I could hardly string a sentence together, the German people that I have come into contact with and tried to practice my German with have been so patient and so like encouraging, and have never made me feel like silly about it. I think I may have had like 1 or 2 kind of bad experiences here in Germany out of all like the time I've been here. I was just not expecting people to be so patient here with like broken German. And I think because I've heard stories about, you know, people visiting France and trying to speak French and getting a really like rude reaction. I don't know how true that is. I have no idea. These are just stories that I've heard, and I was expecting it to be the same in Germany, but for me it wasn't the same. I feel like some of you probably have some different experiences, but I think like in the 8 years that I've been here, I can probably count on one hand the amount of times that I've been made to feel bad about not speaking, you know, perfect German. German. I feel like Germans just really appreciate you going to the effort to speak their language, and that's why they're really encouraging. Because a lot of Germans, they know what it's like to learn a second language. They know that it is not easy at all, and they know the effort that it takes to learn that language. Most Germans at least speak some level of English. Some Germans speak like 3-4 languages, which kind of blows my mind. But I feel like in New Zealand, mostly people only speak one language, English, and they have no idea the courage that it takes to open your mouth and speak another language and attempt to, you know, speak a language that is not your mother tongue. So I think Germans, you know, they just have more of an understanding about what it takes to learn a second language, and therefore they are more encouraging. So I'm really, really grateful for that. And another thing that pleasantly surprised me about Germany was the price of food and clothes, and just basically everything is so much cheaper than in New Zealand. In New Zealand, we pay ridiculous prices for groceries and, you know, clothes and shoes and things like that. And I just couldn't believe it when I came to Germany and I looked at some of the like awesome clothes shops, and the clothing prices were just like half the price of what you would pay in New Zealand for a similar item. I have made a video comparing food prices between New Zealand and Germany, and New Zealand food prices, they are insane. It was just so nice to see the prices of the fruit and vegetables in particular. They are so much less expensive than the fruit and vegetables in New Zealand, and all year round you have all sorts of fruit and vegetables. In New Zealand, anything that is out of season is just gonna be outrageous. Like you could be paying, I don't know, $6 for a cucumber or something like that, just an example. But you know, in Germany all year round, you know, the fruit and vegetables are going to be great prices. You know, Germany is so central within Europe, so there's just a wide range of all sorts of like beautiful fruit and vegetables, and it's all so reasonably priced compared to New Zealand. So that's something I love about Germany. And also, as I've mentioned in previous videos, I have celiac, which is an autoimmune reaction to gluten. So unfortunately I can't eat gluten, so that eliminates a lot of food for me here in Germany or everywhere. And in New Zealand, the gluten-free products are outrageously expensive. I feel like in Germany they may not have the range of products, the gluten-free products, but they are, like, the basics that they do have are a lot cheaper. Like, for example, in New Zealand, I will pay $9, I think it was $9 for a loaf of gluten-free bread. And in Germany, it's something like $3 for a similar loaf of bread, which, you know, that's a huge difference. Even with the exchange rate, that is a huge difference. And also my gluten-free noodles and like pasta, I'll pay like a couple of euros for them. And in New Zealand, I'm not sure how much they cost, but they're a lot more than that in New Zealand. So I can get my gluten-free products for, you know, a reasonable price here in Germany, which is great. I really appreciate that. But yeah, New Zealand, they have a lot of gluten-free products in like bakeries and cafes and things like that, and Germany doesn't so much. But I have recently discovered a cafe in my neighborhood that has traditional gluten-free German cake, and oh my goodness, I was in heaven. I could not believe it. And I like go there every week because I am not used to having these kind of like luxuries. So that was pretty awesome. And not only the food here in Germany is reasonably priced, but also, as I've mentioned, the clothes and the shoes. And when my mum comes to visit us in Germany, she always buys shoes and boots, and sometimes she'll buy like 3 pairs of boots, because Germany has such good quality shoes and such good prices compared to New Zealand. So those were some of the things that pleasantly surprised me about Germany. I feel like I could go on and on and on now that I've started talking about this, but I have to stop because I don't want this video to be too long. Maybe I should make a part 2. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, then I would love you to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and feel free to follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you again really soon. Bye!